Welcome to Temple Builders Carpentry. Temple Builders. We problem solvers. Temple Builders safety first. Now today, Temple Builders, we are replacing our 2-prong receptacles with a 3-prong GFCI or ground fault circuit interrupter. Okay. Now I will suggest, if you're going to do this, okay, that you would get a GFCI and also an AFCI, okay, dual function. AFCI is arc fault circuit interrupter. All right, now why are we doing this? Okay, so if you look at my receptacle down here, you see how it's turned, okay, sideways, and you see how low it is. Okay, this wouldn't be allowed in code today. So this gives you an indication that this house was built somewhere maybe in the early 1900s. And a matter of fact, this house was built before 1920. Okay, now a good indication that you probably have either knob and tube electrical system, which is outdated, or cloth, some type of cloth wiring, okay, that's also outdated. Now these two types of systems wasn't ran with a ground. However, sometimes when you have these 2-prong receptacles like this, you might have a ground that was ran separately to your metal box. Okay, now if that's the case, our faceplate screw right here will be used as our ground, and we're going to check that. Now let's talk about why would we be doing this in the first place. Why do we want to replace, okay, our 2-prong with a 3-prong? Okay, one reason would be, if you look right here, I have a surge protector. Okay, if we want to use a surge protector for our different devices, to protect our devices, okay, surge protector comes with, okay, this 3-prong. Okay, now we can use this adapter. You can use this adapter, go in here, okay, and now this allows you to insert your surge protector. Okay, however, this still doesn't give you the added, okay, benefit of this GFCI. Okay, because with the GFCI, let's say a washing machine, okay, if you have any frayed wires, okay, on that washing machine, and that frayed wire touches the frame of that washing machine, the washing machine becomes energized. Okay, now that's what our ground is used for. Okay, the ground is another path that the electricity takes. Okay, so instead of that washing machine shocking the next person that comes to it or begins to use it, okay, this GFCI will detect the imbalance of electricity, okay, and then, okay, break your connection. Okay, that's what this GFCI is for. Okay, your added protection. Now, when you installing these, okay, now first of all, the reason why you'll be doing this is because you don't want a person, or the homeowner may not want to spend the money, right, for rewiring the whole house. Okay, it's gonna be a high price to rewire the whole house. So instead of doing that, if your old system is still functioning good, right, you can replace your receptacles with a GFCI or a dual receptacle, GFCI and the AFCI in one. That's what I suggest. Okay. Now, where you want to put this? You want to put this, okay, in your circuit upstream. Okay. This GFCI should be the first receptacle in your circuit. Okay, because if it's the first receptacle in your circuit, it's going to protect every other receptacle downstream. Okay, that's one way you can do it. Okay, or you can put a GFCI basically at every receptacle. Okay, and that's another way. And that's probably what I'm going to be doing instead of tracing, because doing it the first way, you'll have to trace out your circuits. Okay, and trace your receptacles. Okay, to detect or to find out where is the first receptacle on that circuit. Okay, the first receptacle upstream. Okay, now I'm gonna be putting this GFCI at every receptacle, and that's a way you can do it as well. Okay, I'm gonna put a GFCI or a GFCI dual AFCI at every receptacle. Okay, now let's continue. Okay, so we know that we're dealing with a energized circuit right here. Okay, because one thing is I got my light plugged in, my lamp right here. My lamp is plugged in, so I know this circuit is energized. Okay, I got my non-contact voltage tester right here. Okay, now I also have my clamp meter, so let me get my clamp meter out, and we're gonna test our voltage first. Okay. Yeah, so also if your house was built 1960 and before, you're probably dealing with an outdated electrical system, either knob and tube or cloth wiring. Okay, now knob and tube use these porcelain knobs and tubes, okay, that ran through your joist, and then also clamped your wires and held them in place on your joist. Okay, these systems are outdated because they don't have a ground that run to them. Okay, now what I want to do here is I want to test for an equipment ground. Okay, so first I'm going to test the voltage. Okay, so we come here, we want to put our clamp meter on alternating current. Okay, right here, see it says AC, and you see the V with the wavy line, it means alternating current. Okay, and as you can see, I got 0.0 right here. Okay, so let's test and see what we have. Now it don't matter which color prong I put in the slots, okay, because I'm dealing with alternating current. However, if you look at this receptacle right here, your short receptacle is your hot. The longer receptacle is your neutral. And even when you look at this old receptacle, 2-prong receptacle, it looks like you got the gold over there, silver over there. That's right. So your short receptacle right here always goes with your brass terminal, or what electricians call your gold. Okay, you got your longer receptacle over here, and that's your silver. Okay, and so that's your neutral. The longer receptacle is your neutral. The shorter receptacle is your hot. All right. So like I said before, with my probes right here, it's not gonna matter which color I put in these slots because I'm dealing with alternating current. Now let's see what is our voltage. Okay, our voltage says we're at 122, okay, 0.4, okay. That's around, you know, our standard of 120 volts, right? Okay, so we know that we energize. Oh, what I want to do is I want to check for equipment ground. Like I said before, some of these old homes have a solid copper wire attached to your box. Okay, so you want to check for an equipment ground by, if I put one probe in my hot, which is my short slot, okay, and I put another probe right here on my face plate, okay, face plate screw, okay, I should have gotten 122 volts, okay, which I don't. It's showing 6. Okay, so this doesn't have an equipment ground. All right, so from here, what we finna do is we are going to shut off our breaker. Okay, so I'm finna go to the panel and we finna identify which circuit this receptacle is on, and we're gonna cut off our breaker. I'll see you then. Okay, Temple Builders, right here at our panel box. Okay, now if you don't have your panel box label like I do, I got mine labeled, okay, you have to go through here cutting off and on your breakers to find out which circuit your receptacle is on. Mine is right here. So once I cut this off, I know my receptacle is off. We're finna go check it out, okay? Let's go. Okay, Temple Builders, now we back at our receptacle, okay? Now our light or our lamp is off, okay? So that's one indication, or there's one sign that's letting us know that our receptacle is not energized, okay? So let's take our plug out. Now, I got my non-contact voltage tester right here, okay? Put this up here to see what we get. Looks like we're still getting a little low voltage, residual voltage. Let's go test this out. Let's go test this out on another receptacle that I know is hot, okay? Follow me. Okay, now I wanna test my non-contact voltage tester on this receptacle right here that I know is hot, okay? Let's see what we got. You see that? So we know that this is functioning properly, okay? Now let's go back to our receptacle. Okay, now we back at our receptacle. Let's test it again with our non-contact. Look there, we're not getting nothing, okay? Seems like we good now, okay? However, we want confirmation. Look right here. I got my clamp meter. I got it on voltage, alternating current. Let's see what we get. Let's see what our reading is. 0.0. We want to check both, okay, outlets right here. But sometimes it be on different circuits. 0.0. Okay, both outlets is de-energized. Okay, so it looks like this thing got stuck up in here. Oh wow. Okay. So it looks like that we are okay. Okay, to take this apart. Let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna come here. We're gonna take out our screw off our face plate. There we go. Okay, now we can pull out our receptacle. Okay. Our mounting screws. Got our mounting screws right here. Get a smaller screwdriver. Oh man, these screws look wore down. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. Taking out our other mounting screw. Okay, this is out. Now let's pull out our receptacle. See that cloth? Okay. Now we also is trying to make sure that our receptacle here is not reverse polarity or wired incorrectly. Okay, which if it's wired incorrectly, you will have your hot on your neutral and your neutral on your hot. All right, but the correct way, this is your short slot right here, right? So this should be your hot, but we're gonna test this. Okay, we got a way we can test this. So let's take this off. Unloosen our terminal screw. Okay, disconnect right here. Let's unloosen it a little bit more. Okay, take this off, and we're not gonna cut these back. I don't suggest cutting back your wires, okay? Because, okay, if you come back and you gotta do some more repairs, or another handyman gotta come behind you and he gonna cut the wires, and then the wires gonna get shorter and shorter, okay? So you won't have no wiggle room, okay? Now what I wanna do, because we're gonna test for hot, okay? Be right back. Okay, now I am not going to cut these wires, okay? I explained why. So all I'm doing is straightening them out, okay? Because it had a hook. It had your J hook right there. So when I straighten these wires out, put me a wire cap on here. See, I put this wire cap on here. Okay, I'm taking note that this came off my hot. Okay, this came off my short slot. Okay, I'm taking note. Okay, now what we're doing here, okay, I'm finna unloosen this terminal, which is supposed to be my neutral, okay? But we're gonna identify to make sure. And once we identify, okay, which is which, as you can see, both of my conductors here, both wires right here are black, okay? So I don't have any white tape on me right now, but once I identify what's hot, okay, and what's neutral, all right? So if this is neutral, which I'm assuming it is, but we're gonna confirm it. If it is neutral, you will put white tape on here to identify, okay? That's your neutral. But we're gonna see what's what. This ain't been off here in a long time, okay? They got this J hook on here good. Let's put it back. All right, we got it off there. Like I said, don't cut it. Straighten it out. You don't want to cut it because we still using this electrical system, right? It still works and it's still functioning, right? Still working, still functioning. So we don't want to have our conductors here too short. Okay, straighten it out. Cut that little nip off right there. That's a little piece. See, I still got a long enough piece right there. I just cut a little nip off because it was knotted up. Okay. Now remember the one to my left. Okay. One to my left is neutral. One to my right is hot. Supposedly, we finna go confirm that. Once I go back to the panel, I'm finna turn on my power, and I'm gonna come back and check it. Okay. Let's go do that. Okay, Temple Builders, if you remember, okay, our hot was to the right and our neutral is to the left, okay? Now we finna check it and we finna confirm to see is that correct. Okay, we got a TikTok. We got a non-contact tester right here. Let's see. You see that? That's hot. Okay. Okay, this is our hot right here, okay? Now, I also, before we took this loose, I showed you how to test and see if there was an equipment ground connected to this box, okay? We see we got a metal box. We can also test and see if we got an equipment ground, okay? By turn it on to voltage, alternating current. We know this our hot. We can put one into our hot and one on our box. One to the hot and one on the metal box. Okay, if it shows that it's 120, it's not showing 120, okay? We don't have no equipment ground on this system. Okay, so from here, we finna get our GFCI. Okay, and we finna hook up our GFCI. So what we need to do now is we need to go back to our panel and shut off our power. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, Temple Builders, now I'm back from switching off my breaker in my panel box, okay? Now I'm gonna check it with my non-contact voltage tester. Let's see, you know, this was our hot. I'm not getting any reading, okay? Now I also tested this non-contact voltage tester with a receptacle that I know was hot, okay? So this is working properly, all right? So now we can come back here, we can take our wire cap off, okay? This for our hot. Okay, now I'm identifying, this is my short slot, okay? Got my gold terminal over here. This is where my hot is going. Also, this is my line. It's called a line. You see on the back of it, it says line, okay? Which the line is our power source, okay? And your load is basically, it's everything downstream from your power source, okay? All right, so let's loosen our terminal right here. Okay, terminal is loosened. Now I'm gonna put my hot in this left one right here, this left hole. Okay, see what we got here. Left one right there. Let's tighten it down. Kind of snug right there. Okay, great. Now let's do the neutral. Loosen our terminal screw. Okay. Take off our wire cap. All right. We're gonna put this in our other hole. Right here. It's one at the bottom right here. Okay. That's my non-contact voltage tester back there. Okay, we're gonna get that good and snug right there. Okay. Now, we got our stuff snug. See if we can fit in there. We'll be able to fit in there. I'm just checking to see if we're gonna be able to fit in there, okay? Okay, now I'm screwing in my mounting screw, okay? Now, if you've seen our green right here, said green terminal screw, we don't have no ground connected to that, okay? You can screw that in because it might prevent you from getting in your box good, okay? I had to screw mine down. You wanna screw it down, okay? My terminal screw, let me get this lined up on this side as well, okay? Get it lined up. Okay, just screwing these in. You want it to get, you know, fairly level. Screw it down, snug. This is gonna give us an added layer of safety. Okay, get it pretty snug here. All right, I that's good enough. Okay, now we're gonna come back with our face plate. Okay, now we got our receptacle secure. Okay, now we got our face plate right here. We can put our face plate on. All right. Stick it out a little bit. Let's see. Put it down a little bit more. Okay, put our face plate on here. Okay, here go our screws. We're gonna screw our face plate in. Okay, screw our face plate in. Get it pretty snug, you know. Now, this is allowed by code, okay, to switch your receptacles, your 2-prong receptacles with a 3-prong GFCI, okay? It's allowed by code. Now, once we got this on here, first we want to check. This is our tester right here. We're going to check and see what it says. Oh, you know what? We got to turn on our power. Let's do that first. Okay, Temple Builders, now I'm finna use this tester after I cut on my breaker, okay, for this circuit. You see the light is energized. Now look at my tester right here. So it should indicate open ground with the middle light coming on, okay? Because that's what we have. We have an open ground. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's first reset it and test it. There we go. See here. There we go. Okay. So our middle light is on right here, okay? Which indicating an open ground. Let's go right here. Okay, our middle light is on. Let's put our lamp in right here. Put our lamp in. Okay, that's our lamp. You also want to make sure that, okay, when you look at your breaker and you find out what circuit your breaker on, if your breaker says a 20 amp breaker, okay, you want a 20 amp receptacle, all right? Also, for these receptacles, they want you to put these stickers on here because my tester indicated no equipment ground. We're gonna put this on our receptacle. No equipment ground. Okay. It can go, it could look a little better than that, couldn't it? A little crooked, but I'm gonna fix that. We also gonna put GFCI protected outlet. GFCI protected outlet right here. Okay, good to go. So if you like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, become my apprentice, okay? Temple Builders.